am Safia, your science teacher. Here I am going to explain a topic from our textbook. So let us start that. So before starting, I would like to have some discussion, and I am writing a word here. What does it mean? Food. What is food? The meal which we eat is called as our food. Why do we eat food? To get energy. Do you think we need energy? Yes, we need energy. Why do we need energy? To perform different day-to-day activities. So what are those day-to-day activities? That can be running, jumping, writing, listening to lesson, or fighting, or eating. For everything we need energy. So from where do we get energy? We get energy from the food, whatever we are taking. For example, now this was about your activities which you do in your daytime. What about night time? What you will be doing in the night? Usually you will be sleeping. So even do you think energy is required while sleeping? Yes, answer is yes. Energy is required while sleeping also, because even though you are not running, you are not jumping, or not listening to the lessons, but certain metabolic activities are going on in your body, like respiration is going on, digestion of food is going on, circulation of blood is going on. So all these things are going on. So to perform all these metabolic activities, energy is required. So we take food to get energy. But here, as I said, food. Everyone has your own choice. You have your own opinion. You like your favorite food. Some of you may like biryani. Some of you may like lemon rice. Some of you may like fast food. Some of you may like very plain food, plain rice and all. So here, for example, what you say when your mama prepares some curry which you don't like. So what you'll say? Better if you won't eat this, right? And if, for example, instead of giving that curry which you doesn't like, if I give you your favorite food for 1 week, do you think you can eat that? First of all, you may feel pleasant for 3 days. Later on, after 3 days, you don't want to eat it because you'll be fed up by eating same kind of food. That is what primary. Next, the important point is here, if you're eating same kind of food, you won't get the nutrients. You won't get nutrients required by our body. So what are nutrients? Why nutrients are required by our body? Nutrients are the substances which gives us healthy growth. So if you want to get healthy growth, you have to take the food which contains nutrients. I am not saying that your favorite food does not contain nutrients. It contains nutrients, but it may contain only certain nutrients. If you eat all kinds of fruits and vegetables, you get all the nutrients. Then you can grow healthy. So here nutrients. Nutrients are the part of food. So here the lesson name, as we know here, part means nothing but component. Part means nothing but component. So here food components. Today we are going to learn about the lesson food components. So nutrients are the food components present in the food items. Every food item contains nutrients. So here we are going to learn about important nutrients required by our body. So there are 6 different kinds of nutrients required by our body. Let me mention here. First one are the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the nutrients which help in giving energy. To perform your day-to-day activities, you need energy, right? So to give energy, carbohydrates are useful. Next one, we need our proteins. As you are growing in height, weight, and all your cell growth, all your hair, nails, everything are growing, that is because of proteins. So proteins are called as body building elements. Carbohydrates are energy giving, elements are energy giving food. Proteins are body building food. Next we have is here vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals are required by our body, but they are required in small quantity. They are required in small quantity. They are not required in abundant quantity like carbohydrates or like proteins. They are required but in small quantity. Vitamins and minerals will help in improving our immunity. Improving our immunity. What is immunity? Resistant power against the disease. So to improve immunity, what you have to take? Food which contains vitamins and minerals. Next one we have is the fats. Fats are also required by our body. So these fats are required by our body. They work as additional energy generators and as well as they keep our body warm. Here, as I said, fats, you'll get one question. As usually people will say, don't eat fats, you'll become fat. Okay, it doesn't mean you should not eat, you should not avoid complete fat. You have to eat fats, but in little amount, not more than that. If you are eating more than the required amount, you may suffer with the disease. But if you are eating in the limited amount, then you need not to worry. You will be getting fat and which will keep your body warm and as well as those will work as additional energy generators. For example, you have fats in your body. You have not taken the food in the morning. So what happens here? Energy is required by your body. That energy will be generated by the fats. That is how fats will work as additional energy generators. Next one are dietary fibers. Dietary fibers or roughages. Dietary fibers or roughages are also the nutrients which are required by our body. They help in digestion and to avoid constipation. So what is digestion and what is constipation, I will be saying you later on. Next important thing which is required by each and everyone, that is what? Water. Water is also required. Why water is required? To dissolve all the nutrients present in the food, water is important. This water will dissolve all the nutrients in itself and it will be pumped through all the parts of our body. And if we contain, the food contains all the nutrients, then that means we are eating the healthy food and we may grow healthier. Okay, this was about the nutrients. Now here, you have to find out about the nutrients or the components present in the food. We are going to find out the components present in our food. So here I got the 2 packaged food which I have in my home. Now I have this for this time. So here on every packaged food you can find a table will be given here. That table will give you information about the nutrients present in that. The table will be called labeled as nutritional information are the components present in that. You can see in this pack carbohydrates, protein, fat is given, and one more thing, this is also used in our home. So here also you can get nutritional information. So this is how you can find the nutrients present in the food. How many grams of nutrients are present here, that you have to note down in your table given in the textbook. So this was how. So here what you have to do, you have tables. So first write the food item. Then you write which nutrient is present in that. For example, if I take this one, here in this I can find carbohydrates. Total, here you have carbohydrate column, protein, then you have vitamins and minerals, others are given here. So here what you have to do for carbohydrates, 75 grams of carbohydrates are given. So 75 proteins are 12 grams. Vitamin and minerals are not, so no. So then here others, no. Like this you have to complete the table. Now here I would like to proceed. So here, as we know, the important nutrients present in our food. So usually food item contains all the nutrients, but here one of the food item contains more nutrients. I'll take an example and I'll explain you. So rice. Rice is a source of carbohydrates. It contains proteins, it contains fats, but the amount of carbohydrates in this will be greater than other nutrients. So we consider this rice as a source of carbohydrates. Did you understood now? Yes, so let us move on here. Every food item contains nutrients. As I said, so to know what kind of food nutrient is present in that, we have to perform certain tests. This test. Okay, so now we are going to do confirmation test. We are going to do confirmation test to find out the nutrients present in that. So usually 3 important nutrients we are going to find out, that is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are the compounds, okay, they are compound molecule. The other name of carbohydrates is the starch. So here first activity which we are going to do is test for starch. So how to do test for starch? So to perform this test for starch, we have to use certain materials, right? I said a format. What is that format? Whenever you are going to deal with any activity, you have to follow a format. First one, what? Aim. You have to write to know presence of starch in the food item, right? That you can write here. Then after aim, what do we have here? Apparatus are the materials required. This is the format which you have to follow whenever you are doing certain experiment or the activity. Materials required for this experiment. What do we need first? Test tubes, china dish, food item, dropper, and iodine crystals. So here first of all we have taken iodine crystals. So iodine crystals, why we use these crystals? For water is also required. So we need iodine solution here to perform test for starch. So first of all let us make iodine solution. First step will be preparation of iodine solution. So how to make iodine solution? So to make iodine solution, first of all take one china dish and dilute all the crystals of iodine in that. Then add some amount of water, say 100 ml of water. Then if you dilute it properly, you will get a brownish colored solution. That brownish colored solution is called as dilute iodine solution. So the solution is called as dilute iodine solution. Iodine solution. So here now we got the materials required. After materials required, what do? We do procedure. So let us move on to the procedure. In this procedure, we have to use the food items, iodine solution, and as well as the test tubes. So what is procedure here? Take one test tube, take food item into the test tube. We have taken rice. I said rice contains carbohydrates. Let us go with the known food item. So rice flour, you take rice flour and add some water to make a paste of it, some amount of water with the help of a dropper. Then you add 2 drops of iodine solution. 2 drops of which iodine solution? Dilute iodine solution. You add dilute iodine solution. Now you will observe, when you stir it properly, you will observe that the food sample has changed into black or blue color. So if the food sample converts its color to black or blue, it means it contains carbohydrates. If there is no change, that means it does not contain carbohydrates. So this is the confirmation test for carbohydrates or the starch. So what is the reagent used in this experiment? That is dilute iodine solution. Dilute iodine solution is used for testing the presence of starch. And what is the resultant color? Dark black or blue color. Now next confirmation test is for test for fats. It is very easy test, students. Already we have performed all the testers in the class. This is also very easy. Take one A4 size paper and take any food item and rub it with the help rub it on the paper. If the paper changes oily, like translucent paper, that means the food item contains fats. Like whenever you pack vada or some any pakodi or something into the newspaper, what will happen to the newspaper? It will become oily. Why it will become oily? Because it contains fats. So same translucent paper you can see when you are rubbing the food item on the paper. If the paper changes translucent, it means the food item contains fats. Next test is for proteins. Confirmation test for proteins. Same, aim, materials required. What is the aim? To know the presence of proteins in the given food item. What are the materials required? Test tubes, dropper, food item, and here the reagents which we are using are different here. The reagents required for testing proteins is 2% copper sulfate solution and 10% sodium hydroxide solution. These are the chemical formulas which I am using here: copper sulfate solution, sodium hydroxide solution. So here, as in the first test, we have made dilute iodine solution. In the same way here, we have to make this copper sulfate and sodium hydroxide solution. So in our procedure, first one will be preparation of reagents. Preparation of reagents. What reagents we are going to prepare here? Copper sulfate and sodium hydroxide solutions. So first of all, take 2 grams of copper sulfate. 2 grams of copper sulfate. Take 2 grams of copper sulfate in a test tube. Take a test tube, take 2 grams of copper sulfate into the test tube and add 100 ml of water. 100 ml of water. Distilled water you have to use. You have to use distilled water. Add 100 ml of water. Then stir it properly. Now the solution which you got is nothing but the 2% copper sulfate solution. In the same way, see here, how much percent of copper sulfate? 2%. So how many grams of copper sulfate we have taken? 2 grams. Now you guess. We are going to make 10% sodium hydroxide solution. So how much we have to take? We have to take, here we have taken percent sodium hydroxide solution. So how much we have to take? We have to take, here we have taken 2. For 2% we have taken 2 grams. And for 10% we have to take 10 grams of what? Sodium hydroxide. Say, take 10 grams of sodium hydroxide in the test tube. Add 100 ml of water to it. Stir it properly. You'll get the solution. That solution is nothing but 10% sodium hydroxide solution. This is how we have prepared the reagents. Now we got the reagents. So now the time is for testing our food item. So testing our food item, what you have to do? Same, take a test tube and take, what you will take here? Milk. You can take milk or you can take, okay, take milk. Take the sample of milk into it. Add 2 drops of copper sulfate and 10 drops of sodium hydroxide to the food sample. Then you'll observe that the sample color will be changing into violet or purple. Violet or purple. If the sample color changes to violet or purple, then it means the food item contains proteins. If there is no change in the food sample, it means it does not contain proteins. This is how we can do confirmation test for 3 important major nutrients required by our body. All the nutrients are required, but these 3 are the major nutrients. What are those 3 major nutrients? Carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Let us move on to next topic here. What is a balanced diet? What is balanced diet? So here, diet means not that for becoming thin you use, not is that, not. Diet means not that. Diet is the food which we use regularly. If I eat chapati or rice, whatever I eat, it comes under diet. So what is meant by balanced diet? If our food contains all the nutrients in equal proportion. If all nutrients are present in our food, are present in equal proportions, then our food is called as balanced diet. Then it is called as balanced diet. The food which contain all the nutrients in equal proportions along with water, it is called as balanced diet. What are the nutrients required here? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, roughages and the water. If all these nutrients are present in our food, then it is called as balanced diet. So here, if you want to grow healthy, what kind of diet you have to eat? You have to eat balanced diet. Okay. Now, how to make our food balanced diet? That is how here you have to eat all the fruits and all the vegetables. Here we have seen carbohydrates. Okay, sources of carbohydrates are all the millets, all the grains are rich in carbohydrates. All the grains or millets are rich in carbohydrates. Whereas if we talk about proteins, all the grams, pulses, that means they are also rich in proteins, and some fruits also. And not only that, even these food components are present in the dry fruits also. Fats are present in the meat, in the oil, in the ghee, in the ghee, and all fats are present. The next, what we have here, fibers, dietary fibers or roughages. So dietary fibers or roughages are present in all the food items. Actually, what is meant by fiber? Fiber means a thin hair-like structures present in the food item is called as fiber. That fibers are called as dietary fibers. I'll take a simple example to understand about fibers. Have you ever ate a ripened mango, yellow mango? Okay, not the cutted one, which one? Juicy mango. So whenever you take the juice, what happens? You'll get some hair-like strands sticking in between your teeth, right? Hair-like structures. That means mango contains what? Dietary fibers. So mango is the source of roughages or dietary fibers. In the same way, in banana also, when you peel out a banana, you'll get the strands in that. Those strands are nothing but the fibers. In the same way, here some of the sources of roughages are given: bran, shredded wheat, pulses, and potatoes, plain potato, and as well as sweet potato also contains this roughages. Carrot contains roughages, beans contain roughages, etc. Go through the sources of roughages. Then water. What is the use of water? How water is required by our body? As I said, water is used for dissolving all the nutrients into it. Water will dissolve all the nutrients. It will absorb all the nutrients and it will transfer. Water will combine with blood and it will get transferred to all the parts of our body. So water is useful for digestion. Here water is also useful for digestion. So how this water? Let us know how to know about use of water. We have to do a simple activity. Take a test tube or a pipe. Okay, you can take pipe. If not, you can take test tube and take duster and try to put the duster into the test tube. So you have to apply more force. You have to put your more energy here, right? Now, so what is the other way for this? Take out this duster and wet the duster. Make it wet and now you put it here. What will happen here? Because the duster it will be pressed easily, we can put the duster into the test tube easily. Same case here, this duster, we have taken duster here. In the place of duster, you consider our food. Think this is our food pipe. Here we have food pipe, we have learnt about food pipe. So here we have food pipe. So as the food should enter into our food pipe, it should contain some waters. So what will happen here? As the food contains water, it will go easily into our food pipe without causing any damage to our food pipe. So water is required by our body. How all other nutrients are required by our body. So where water is present? The plain water which we drink, drinking water contains what? It is obviously a water. Not only that, even fruits and vegetables also contains water. But first example, when I say water in the fruits, what you'll get? Obviously you'll get watermelon because name itself watermelon, cucumber, potato, etc. All these are the fruits, papaya, oranges, citrus, lemon. Okay, all those are the examples of fruits and vegetables which contain water. Does they contain only water? No, they contain some other nutrients also. And here, if water is not present, digestion will not take place and you may get a lot of problem. So at least you have to drink 2.5 liters of water in a day. That means nearly 7 glasses or to 8 glasses of water. 7 to 8 glasses of water you have to drink regularly to keep your digestive system work properly. This was about the water. Here, what happens if you are not eating the fibers? If you are not eating carbohydrates, you won't get energy to do your work. If you are not eating the fats, your body will not be warm and you can't do the work. In the same way, if proteins are not there, you may become thin, you may become very weak. In the same way, if roughages are not present. What happens if roughages are absent in our food? So, if roughages are absent in our food, we will suffer with the problem called as constipation. What is constipation? Stool. With stool, not sitting stool. So let me say, constipation is a condition where there is a difficulty in getting rid of waste. Stool is what? Waste. We will be excreting in 2 different ways. Excretions will be of 2 different ways through our kidneys. I am not talking about skin. If we are talking about skin, sweat is also a type of excretion. I am talking about through kidneys. We will do 2 kinds of excretions. That is what? A liquid form and other is a solid form. Stool is a solid form of our excretion. Like in buffaloes and all, we find dung. In the same way, stool is produced from our body. That is what? Waste material. So here, constipation. It is a condition where we feel lot of difficulty to remove the waste from our body. Because these roughages are not present in our food. If those are not present in our food, digestion problem will take place. And as a result, food from our digestive system cannot come easily out. And if it is not coming easily out, you will feel difficulty in excreting or removing from our body. It is what? Constipation. So to avoid constipation, what kind of food you have to eat? Which contains lot of roughages or dietary fibers. This was about roughages. And now here we are going to talk about the junk food. You know what is junk food? Yeah, the food which you are fond of, which I am fond of, right? Even I too like junk food. So here, junk food, I'll give you example. Noodles, chicken manchuria, pastries, and all the bakery items comes under junk food. So here, pizzas, even pizza is also a kind of junk food. So this junk food contains more amount of fats and all the other acids like vinegar is present in this, and all those things are present in the junk food. So if you are eating junk food regularly, do you think you won't be suffering with any kind of problem? Do you think? No, you are wrong. You can suffer with different kinds of problems if you are eating junk food regularly. You may suffer with digestion problem. You may find you'll get acidity. You may get some different kind of obesity if you are eating junk food regularly. I'm not saying you should not eat junk food. I'm saying you have to eat junk food based on once in a 15 days or twice in a month or thrice in a month. That is more than enough. That is about junk food. So now here, who said about the nutrients? The founder of modern science of nutrition. He is called as the father of modern science of nutrition. Modern science of nutrition. He is nothing but Lavoisier, a French scientist named Lavoisier. So he studied about the important nutrients required by our body. As I said here, three important main ingredients found in our food are what? Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are the three important nutrients found in our food. So these three nutrients should be eaten more in to get healthy, healthy growth. So before Lavoisier, the people present here, they does not have more idea about the nutrients. But later on, when Lavoisier said the importance of nutrients, everyone started eating the nutrients required by our body. Then here one more scientist, he found that the scientist name is James Lind. James Lind, he found that a disease called as scurvy. Scurvy is the name of a disease. So what is this? Scurvy can be treated by eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Fresh fruits and vegetables can be eaten to avoid scurvy. Who said this? James Lind. Scientist James Lind said that scurvy can be treated by eating fresh fruits and vegetables. So here in this, scurvy is a disease where you feel lot of weakness. You can't even walk, you can't even sit. That is what scurvy here. So to avoid or to prevent scurvy, what you have to eat? You have to eat all the fruits and vegetables. For example, if anyone is suffering from that, then they have to eat fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. This was about the lesson food components. So students, this was about the lesson food components. Here you got the definition of nutrients and all the types of nutrients and all those things. And here you got three important experiments. That is what test for starch, test for fats, and test for carbohydrates. Go through that topic properly, thoroughly. You go through the topic, read about the reagents, how to prepare this and how to perform the activity, and study about these two scientists, that is what Lavoisier and James Lind, what their role of about saying about the nutrients or the nutrition required by our body. So go through this lesson thoroughly.